Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I will be fighting a 200-point kill team battle with commanders between my Deathwatch and Neil's Tyranids. So the story that we've got going on here is that this planet got overrun with a Tyranid, by the Tyranid infestation, and inside of this manufactorum was some important information and artifacts that the Inquisition wanted. So they sent in a Deathwatch Kill Team to go and retrieve them and take out the Tyranid presence here so that they could get what they needed before the planet just was exterminatist, something, before they sent exterminatus on this planet. So that's the story that we got going on. We are going to be playing the Hold the Line mission. There are 4 objectives on the table here, as you can see between these ones here. Those 4 objectives at the end of the game are worth 1 victory point. And your commander is whoever. If you kill the enemy's commander, you get an additional victory point for that. So that is the story. That is the mission that we've got going on here. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 armies. For my Deathwatch, my kill team will consist of, from left to right, my commander with who is a Primaris Psyker. I then have my Watch Sergeant with a Xenophase Blade and a Bolter. I've got a Reaver Sergeant with a Grapnel Launcher and a Close Combat Weapon and a Heavy Bolt Pistol. I have a Veteran with a Stalker Pattern Bolter. He will be my my Sniper Specialist. I then have a Demolitions Expert with the Infernus Heavy Bolter. I then have 3 veterans, 1 with a Heavy Thunderhammer and 2 others with bolters. And then for the Tyranids, his kill team will consist of, from left to right here, his commander, who is a Tyranid Prime with Bone Swords and Death Spitter. We then have his leader, who is a Tyranid Warrior with Bone Swords and Devourer. We then have a Gene Stealer, who will be his combat specialist. We have a Lictor, who is his scout specialist. We then have a Tyranid Warrior with a Venom Cannon, who is going to be his heavy specialist. Then we have 3 more Gene Stealers and 3 Termagants with Devourers. All right, so those are the armies going over deployment. I've got my Sniper Specialist up here. I've got my leader down there, along with a regular Bolter Bro. I've got my other veteran with a Heavy Thunderhammer. I've got my commander, the Glacial Librarian, over here. I've got my Demolitions Expert up here with his Infernus Heavy Bolter. I then have a regular Bolter Bro, as well as my Combat Specialist over here, the Reaver Sergeant. So that is going to be deployment for the Deathwatch. Going over deployment now for the Tyranids. We've got little Ghibli there, little Ghibli up over here. We've got a Gene Stealer down there, his Combat Specialist Gene Stealer back over behind him. Over on this side, we've got his Heavy Specialist up over here. We've got his Lictor Scout Specialist here. We've got the other Tyranid Warrior. This one's the, which one is this one? This is the leader. No, this is not the leader. No, that's his commander right over there, the Tyranid Prime. Yep. And then inside over here, we've got his leader. And then we've got, what else do we've got? We got any more? There were more Ghiblis, right? And then one more Gene Stealer stuck up around here. We'll come back to it that way. They were over here, so we got the other Ghibli here, and we've got the other Gene Stealer back over here. So my opponent spent 1 command point to redeploy D3 units. 2 command point. No, we spent 1 command point, wasn't it? It was 2 command points. 2 command points to redeploy. But he has his specialist, his commander is the strategist specialist, so he gets +1 command points. So he spent 2 to put D3, rolled 1, and moved his leader over to this point over here. So that is going to be it for deployment. Now we will roll off to see who will have the initiative going into turn 1. So rolling off here. I roll a 4, my opponent rolls a 5, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 1. His Dubro up here with the Heavy Specialist readied himself. His leader down here moved into position, looking at my Dubros. His Lictor advanced up over here, leaping across over this way. His little Gribbly advanced up over this way. His Gene Stealer over here shot up the building over here, advancing up to there. This little Gribbly readied himself. The one down there moved. And then he had a Gene Stealer over here advance up into my face. And a Gene Stealer over there that's the combat specialist move up there. And his, his commander back over here just moved himself into a better position. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Tyranids. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Deathwatch.
Back burner when you feel froggy.
All right, movement phase for the Deathwatch here on turn 1. My sniper readied himself. My sergeant and my regular bolter bro readied themselves. My dude bro, my demolitions expert moved himself up over here. My commander moved up over here. And my bolter bro over here readied himself. Now, my Reaver Sergeant is going to declare a charge against his Gene Stealer over here. Should have had my dice. He doesn't have anything to shoot for Overwatch, so his charge distance, yeah, is way in. All right, so now my Heavy Thunderhammer bro is going to charge into his Tyranid warrior here, his leader. So he's going to fire Overwatch, looking for 6s. Getting 1 hit, strength 4, so 4 is to wound. That's a wound, AP, nothing. So 3 up armor save. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Into a 3, he's good. Woo!
Hit it.
All right, so now he needs a 10-inch charge to make it in over here. Almost. I'm going to spend a command point. No, I can't spend a command point to re-roll it because I already spent the command point to re-roll his armor save in the charge phase. So nothing there. He ain't making it. All right, psychic phase. We're going to start with him casting Sight Bolt onto his dude bro up there. So this is going to be looking for a 4 because he's got the +1 as a psyker specialist. That's going to go off, so he's going to take 1 mortal wound. And then he's going to cast Might of Heroes onto my Reaver Sergeant over here. That's going to go off with an 11. Cool. All right, so now his Venom Cannon guy up here is going to start us off by shooting into my Sniper Specialist. D3 shots. He's going to have 1 shot. This is going to be -1 to hit because of obscurement, but he's within half range. So it's going to be hitting on a, what is it, weapon, ballistic skill 3 or 4? 1 second. All right, ballistic skill 4, so hitting on a 5. That is a hit. Strength 8, so looking for a 2 to wound. That is a wound. AP -2. AP -2, so looking for a 5 up save. No, goes through. So damage. Is it D3 damage?
Yes.
D3 damage. So it's going to do 1 damage. So the 1 damage roll there. 4 becomes a 3 because he's got the terrain piece between him there. So he takes a flesh wound. Now my Sniper Specialist is going to shoot him right back. He's at half range with the Stalker Pattern bolt rifle, bolt gun, sorry. So it's going to be heavy 2, hitting on, he is obscured, so hitting on 4s. I'm going to be using the 1 hit here. This is going to be wounding on 2s because of special issue ammunition using the Hellfire Rounds. That is a wound. AP -1, so 4 up armor save, correct? I think so. 1 second. He's actually got a 4 up armor save, so it's going to become a 5 up. No, does not make it. So that is going to be 1 damage. He's got 3 wounds, so he takes 1.
I'm just gonna.
All right, this little Gribbly here is now going to shoot into my bolter guy right over here. His range is 18, so he's way in range there. So this is going to be 3 shots, hitting on
like 6s.
hitting on something. We'll let's figure that one out. All right, 4 up ballistic skill becomes 5 up because of obscurement there. No hits. All right, my leader is going to shoot into his leader with his regular bolt gun. I'm going to have 2 shots, Hellfire Rounds, within half range. That's why it's 2 shots, but he is obscured, so hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits. Toughness 4, so looking for 4s to wound. 2s to wound, sorry. Hellfire Rounds. That's 2 wounds. AP nothing, so 2 3-up saves. 2 4-up saves, right? On the Warriors? You said? Yeah. 4. Making them both. And then my other bolter guy now is going to shoot into his leader as well. 2 shots, hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 2s with Hellfire Rounds. That is going to be 1 wound. AP nothing, so 4-up save. He's good. And now my other bolter guy here is going to fire into his combat specialist over there. 2 shots because he's in 12-inch range. Hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Not getting anything.
Shots.
All right, so now his little Gribbly down there is going to start us off in the regular shooting phase into my guy over here. He's going to have 3 shots, hitting on 5s because of obscurement. No hits. All right, so now my demolitions expert here is going to be firing into his lictor. So we're going to have the heavy flamer and the heavy bolter firing in there. So we'll start with the heavy bolter. He's -1 to hit innately because of just him being a lictor. He's -1 to hit because he's obscured, and he's also -1 to hit because I'm firing both profiles. So these are going to be hitting on 6s, getting no hits. So then the heavy flamer is D6 auto hits. 1 auto hit. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that into a 3. So it's going to be 3 auto hits, strength 5, toughness 4. So looking for 3s to wound. Getting no wounds. Oh no, +1 to wound because of demolitions expert. Because he's the demolitions expert and he's obscured. So that's actually 2 wounds. Oh, I nearly gave myself a heart attack there. So 2 wounds at -1, so these are going to be 5 up. 6 up saves, 6 up saves. No, so he takes 2 wounds. All right, so now his lictor is going to shoot his flesh hooks into my dude bro over here. So he's going to have 2 attacks, hitting on, he's got ballistic skill 4, which becomes a 5 because he advanced. So here we go, hitting on 5s. Getting 1 hit, strength 6, right?
Yes.
So wounding on 3s. No wound. Now my commander is going to shoot into his lictor with his bolt pistol. -1 to hit because he's obscured. -1 to hit because he's a lictor. So looking for a 5 to hit. No wound. All right, so now this little Gribbly is going to shoot into me over here, hitting on 5s because he advanced. No hit.
The range doesn't.
And now his leader here is going to fire into my dude bro with the heavy thunderhammer. So he's going to be hitting on 5s because he's obscured. 1 hit. Strength 4, so looking for 4 to wound. No wound. And then his commander is going to be firing into my dude bro over here with his death spitter. So it's going to be outside of 12 inches. So these are going to be -1 to hit for range, -1 to hit because of obscurement. So these are going to be hitting on 5s.
He shoots on 3. Okay.
All right, so 5s to hit. Getting 2 hits. Strength 5, so looking for 3s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. -1 apiece here, so these are going to be looking for -1 apiece, so looking for 4 up saves. And I make them both. Woo! All right, so now we're into the fight phase here. We're going to start with my Reaver Sergeant Combat Specialist. He has 3 attacks base, +1 for close combat weapon, +1 for being a combat specialist, +1 for having the Might of Heroes cast upon him. So 6 attacks here. These are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, getting 4 hits. These are going to be strength +1 because of Might of Heroes. So it's going to be strength 5, looking for 3s to wound. Yep, yeah. Thank you very much. Oops. All right, so now his Gene Stealer will attack back into my combat specialist here. He's got 3 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Okay, you've got the same luck I do, apparently. All right, so that's the end of turn 1. Nobody died, so no one has to take any tests over here. So now we will roll off to see initiative going into turn 2. I rolled an 8, so my opponent rolled a 4. I will be going first. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Deathwatch here on turn 2.
I'm thinking.
All right, movement phase for the Deathwatch here on turn 2. My sniper specialist readied himself. My 2 guys, my sergeant, my regular bolter guy, both readied themselves. My demolitions expert up here readied himself, and my other guy readied himself over here. My combat specialist kept himself in the into close combat over there. So now I'm also now going to charge with my veteran with the heavy thunderhammer into his leader. So here comes his Overwatch here, hitting on 6s. Nope, no hits there. Definitely not going to happen that way. So now I need a 4-inch charge to make it in. And oh, barely, but in. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 2. His Gene Stealer here advanced from over there, moving 13 inches. Pretty brutal. This guy just moved around over this way. He is locked in combat. His Death Spitter guy up here, oh no, Venom Cannon guy up here, readied himself. This guy moved down around here to get a better line of sight. This little Gribbly readied himself. And this guy stayed in combat down over here. So now we will move into some charges that he's going to have to make. Which one would you like to start with? All right, so he is going to charge into my guy over here. So we will fire Overwatch. We've got the Heavy Bolter and the Heavy Flamer. So Heavy Bolter hitting on 6s. Getting 1 hit with the Heavy Bolter. Strength 5. Looking for a toughness 4, so 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP -1. So it's looking for a 6-up save. No, it goes through. So let's see if he is out of action. On a 4, no, becomes a 3. He takes a flesh wound because of where he is, because of being within an inch of that. So he takes a flesh wound, but he still gets to charge into me, which is brutal. Yeah, just brutal. So here we go. His charge distance is in. All right, so this guy here, his combat specialist, is going to charge into my dude bro over here. I'm going to fire Overwatch, 2 shots, hitting on 6s. Not getting anything, so he needs a 9-inch charge to get it in. Going to re-roll because of Swift and Deadly. No, still not in. All right, so now his Gene Steel in here is going to charge around the building into my guy over here. He needs a 7-inch charge to get in. 7 inches will get him in. Perfect. All right, so that's it for the moving phase into the psychic phase. My psyker is going to cast Psybolt onto his Lictor up here. So looking for a 4-up because he's a psyker specialist. It will go off with a 10, so that's going to do a mortal wound. Let's see if he's out of action with +1 because of the flesh wound he already has. And the 6, he is out of action. And now my guy over here is going to cast Might of Heroes onto my regular veteran over here with the heavy thunder hammer. So on an 9, it will go off, or it becomes an 8 because of Shadows in the Warp. So the other ones also went off, but we've been keeping track of it. But as Shadows in the Warp, it does go off. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, my sniper specialist here is going to fire into his heavy specialist up there. So it's going to be 2 shots. I'm going to use the Hellfire Round, so it's going to be wounding on 2s. These are going to be hitting, though, on he's within half range but obscured from that angle, so he's going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits, wounding on 2s. That is 1 wound, AP -1, so that's going to be... actually, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. So that is 2 wounds. At AP -1, so these are going to be 2 4-up, no, 5-up saves. Making 1, failing 1, so he takes 1 wound. His ready Termagon here is going to fire into my dude bro down over here, hitting on obscured, so 5s. Getting 1 hit.
4 versus.
That is not a wound.
You get another.
So now my ready guy here is going to shoot into his combat specialist. 2 shots, obscured over there, so hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 2 with Hellfire Rounds. That is a wound. AP nothing, so he's got his 5-up save. And he's good. And now his prime, his commander, is going to shoot into my bolter bro over here. So these are going to be hitting on obscured. So, and yeah, obscured and within half range. So he's going to be hitting on 3s, becomes 4s. That is going to be 1 hit.
5 versus?
5 versus 4, so 3s to wound. No wound.
It's infantry.
And then my bolter bro here is going to fire into his Tyranid prime over here. So he's going to be in rapid fire range, but he is obscured, so hitting on 4s with the Hellfire Rounds. Getting 1 hit, wounding on a 2. That is a wound. Regular armor save, 3-up. He's good. And then his Venom Cannon guy is going to fire into my sniper specialist, D3 shots. Getting 3 shots. Yes. These are going to be obscured, so hitting on 5s. So that's going to be no hits. And then my sergeant's going to fire into his little Gribbly up here. 1 shot, hitting on a 5 because he's obscured and out of range. In long range. No hit. And then my leader is going to fire into his Tyranid prime, starting off the regular shooting here with his bolt pistol. This is going to be hitting on -1 because of obscurement there, so hitting on a 4. That is a hit. Wounding on a toughness 5, right? So 5 to wound. That's a wound with a fill face. Regular save. Makes it. Now his little Gribbly is going to shoot into my dude bro over here. Obscured, so hitting on 5s. Getting 2 hits. That's how you do it. Wounding on 4s. Getting 2 wounds.
Negative nothing.
Negative nothing, so 3 up saves. Failing 1 of them. So that's a damage, an injury roll here. No, takes a flesh wound. Gonna spend a command point to re-roll that.
Come on, baby.
Fleshy wound. Yeah, still a flesh wound. And now this little Gribbly is going to shoot into my sniper specialist. -1 to hit because of range, but he's not obscured. Getting 1 hit. This is going to be wounding on a 4. Got a wound. 3 up save. Yeah, he good. And then my guy over here has got a heavy bolt pistol, so he's going to fire into him. 1 shot hitting on a 3. That is a hit. This is going to be strength 4, toughness 4, so 4 to wound. No wound. All right, into the fight phase. My opponent's going to spend 2 command points for decisive strike, and he's going to have his leader over here attack into my guy first. So he's going to have 3 attacks because of the extra bone sword, or 4 attacks with the bone swords in there. So these are going to be hitting on 3s, getting 2 hits, strength 4. So looking for 4s to wound. Getting 1 wound, AP -2 means I'm looking for a 5 up save. Yeah, I'm good with the filfers. Woo! All right, so now he's going to attack back because this is now into the charge. This is still the Hammer of Wrath phase, so my guy who charged is going to put 2 attacks into his leader and 1 into the Gene Stealer because he has the +1 attack from Might of Heroes going in there. So we're going to go the 2 into the leader first. These are going to be hitting on 4s because he's got the heavy Thunder Hammer. Getting 1 hit. This is going to be strength ×2, so wounding on 2s. That is a wound, AP -3, so he gets no save on that, so I think it's D something that wounds. Hold on a second. All right, so it's going to put D6 wounds onto him over there. Going to be putting 3 wounds, which takes him all the way down, right? That's 0?
Yeah.
That's going to 0 him out. So the damage was 3, so it's 3 injury rolls to be made here. And a 5 will knock him out. And the 1 attack into the Gene Stealer over there. Again, hitting on a 4. No hit. I'm gonna spend a command point to re-roll that. No, still don't make it. And then his Gene Stealer who charged is gonna get his attacks back into me. So here goes 3 attacks hitting on 3s. That is 2 hits. Strength 4 looking for 4s to wound. That is 2 wounds. AP -1. So 4 up saves. Oh, failed them both. So let's see his injury roll here. 1 injury roll. Yep. Because he's only got the 1 wound. Oh, and he's out. JK Lowell, I forgot that he had Might of Heroes on him. He is tough 5 right now. So this is going to be, it takes a 5 to wound. My opponent rolled 2 4s, so now he's going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Oh, and he gets the wound. Oh, man. Well, I failed both of my armor saves, but and we rolled him out of action. So we'll consider everything else that happened, not going to make you roll anything else because you already rolled, even though we thought that it didn't have to happen, but then that roll meant that he actually got the wound on him. So he is out of action. Well done. And then my guy over here is going to attack into his Gene Stealer over there. Let's see if he can do better this time. 3 base, close combat weapon, +1 for being a combat specialist, so 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. All right, good sign. We've got 5 hits. This is where he effed up last time. So looking for 4s to wound now because he's not super strong because of the psychic powers. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so we've got 4 wounds. AP nothing, so 4 5 up saves. Oh, he fails them. So here we go. 1 out of action roll. Yeah, with the fill face, he's out. All right, so that's the end of the turn. No one has to take any rolls in the morale phase. I've only got the 1 guy with a flesh wound, but I've only got 1 guy out, so he can't actually fail. I've got 2, I should say I've got 2 guys with flesh wounds and 1 guy out. Not enough to take a break test, not enough to fail here. So now we're going to roll off CO's initiative going into turn 3. I get a 9, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Deathwatch. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels, the Deathwatch here on turn 3. My sniper specialist is readied himself. Both of these guys down here readied themselves. My demolitions expert readied himself. My bolter guy readied himself, and now my combat specialist is going to charge into his combat specialist. So he doesn't get any Overwatch, just some stern looks. So here we go, looking for an 8-inch charge to get in. Not making it. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Not making it. I also forgot to say that my commander moved down off the bridge down over there. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here. His Venom Cannon guy readied himself. His little Gribbly over here readied himself. His little Gribbly here readied himself. Little Gribbly here readied himself. And everybody else is going to charge. So we'll start over here with this guy charging into my demolitions expert. So we have Overwatch here. We'll try the heavy bolters first. Hitting on 6s. Getting no hits there. And then we've got D6 auto hits with a heavy flamer. 6 auto hits. Real good there. Strength 5 looking for 3s to wound. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds at AP -1. So these are going to be 4 5-up saves. No. Ooh, fails them. So here we go. Is he going to be out of action or will he charge in? He's out of action. And now his combat specialist is going to charge into my combat specialist, Overwatching with his heavy bolt pistol. Is a hit. Woo. Strength 4, toughness 4. That is a wound with a fill face. AP -1, 5-up in roll save. No, goes through. Is he out of action? No, takes a flesh wound. So now he needs a an 8-inch charge to get in. Yep. No, but re-rolling because of Swift and Deadly. Oh, still not in. And now his Gene Stealer here is going to charge into both my guys. They're going to fire Overwatch with Hellfire Rounds, may as well. 2 shots from the Sergeant, 6s. Nope, 2 shots from the other guy, 6s. Nope, nothing there, so his charge distance. No flamers. They don't got flamers. He's the one with the flamer. All right, here we go. He's in. And now his commander, his Tyranid Prime, is going to charge into my commander, my Primaris Psyker. So I'm going to fire Overwatch with my bolt pistol. Not a hit. So here comes his charge. This is looking for a 6-inch charge. Oh, no. Ooh, you're going to spend a command point to re-roll that? Yep. He's going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Oh, no. Still doesn't make it. All right, into the Psychic phase. He is going to cast Psybolt into his Tyranid Prime over there. So looking for -1 because of Shadow of the Warp, +1 because of the Psyker specialism. Goes off with a 7, so he takes a mortal wound. Okay. And then I'm going to cast Might of Heroes onto my Sergeant. That goes off with an 8. All right, so into the shooting phase, my sniper is going to shoot into his dude bro up here. 2 shots hitting on 4s because of obscurement. Getting 1 hit, re-rolling 1s because the sniper remembered it, but that's not a hit. So 1 shot, 1 hit, wounding on 2s because of Hellfire Rounds. That is a wound. AP -1, so looking for a 5-up save. No, goes through. That's going to take him down to 0. So is he out of action? He is. All right, his little Gribbly here is going to fire into my Sergeant over here, or into my Reaver Sergeant. So he's going to have 3 shots hitting on 4s because he's not obscured and in half range. That's 2 hits. That is 2 wounds. 2 3-up saves. Failed 1, made 1, down to 1 wound. All right, so now my dude bro here is going to fire everything into him. So it's going to have the heavy bolter first, obscured, obviously within half range, but firing both profiles. So it's going to be looking for -2 to the side, looking for 5s. Getting 2 hits, strength 5, looking for 3s to wound. That is 1 wound. AP -1, so that's just going to go straight through. So let's see if he's out of action. Nope, takes a flesh wound. All right, little Gribbly inside there is going to fire into my Reaver Sergeant. 3 shots. Again, not obscured, within half range. Getting 2 hits. Looking for 4s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. 2 3-up serves. Oh, fails 1. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. Yeah, he's good. And then this guy here is going to fire, actually he's going to fire into the combat specialist. Why not? So this is going to be 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 1 hit, looking for a 2 because of Hellfire Rounds. That is a wound. 5-up save. No, +1 to the roll because of his already wound. 4 +1 -1, he is out. There. Little Gribbly guy is going to fire into me over here. So he's got 3 attacks here. These are going to be hitting on, I don't know if he's obscured. He might be. Hurted. He's hurt, but I think he's got it from part of his body that's not obscured over there. So it's going to be hitting on 5s. Getting 1 hit. Looking for a 4 to wound. No wound. And then my Primaris Commander is going to fire into his Tyranid Prime Commander over there. 1 shot hitting on, he is obscured, so it's going to be hitting on a 4. That's a fill first, that's a hit. Looking for a toughness 4, oh no, toughness 5, so 5's to wound. No wound. And now his Gene Stealer here is going to attack into my Sergeant with everything, so 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Getting 1 hit, wounding on a 4. No wound. Spending a command point to re-roll it. And to a wound. AP -1, so looking for a 4-up save. Oh no, he fails it. So injury roll.
Come on.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, and he's out.
Never getting a fight.
And now my other guy is going to attack back over here. So he's got 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is 2 hits, wounding on 4s. That is 1 wound. 5-up invul save. Oh, he's good. All right, so that's the end of the turn here. I don't have to take a break test because I've got 2 guys who are out of action, 2 guys who have flesh wounds, which puts me at 4, which is exactly half, not more than half, of my starting force. And I don't have to take any leadership tests here because for the nerve test here because the 2 guys who are out do not hurt them with those. But we now have, we do have to take a break test for the Tyranids since he has 6 of his 11 guys are out of action and he has also 1 guy who is wounded. So his Tyranid Prime has a leadership of 10. So here we go, his break test. Is it going to be less than 10? He's good to go. So they're not broken, but he still has to take a nerve test. So there's 6 guys who are out of action. So 6 plus, what's his leadership?
7.
7. So he needs, so a 1 will auto pass for him, for this little dude bro over here. So it's definitely worth, we definitely are going to roll for it.
Leadership 5.
His leadership is 5. So we definitely have to roll though. On a 1, it's an auto pass. Here we go.
But I don't have anything.
We have no CP to spend on this one. So it's 1 is auto pass. No, so he is going to be nervous. So that is the end of the turn here. This was turn 3, so we will see who will have the advantage now going forward onto turn 4. So I rolled a 7, my opponent rolled a 12, so Tyranids will be moving first. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids. He is going to stay in combat over here, and these 2 guys are going to ready himself. He is nervous, so he can't do anything. And now comes an important one here. His Tyranid Prime is going to charge into my Primaris Psyker, charging in there. So my Overwatch is not going to hit him. So here we go, his charge distance. We'll get him in. Movement phase for the Deathwatch here. My sniper moved a bit so we could see him down here. He fell back out of combat. He readied himself. And now my combat specialist is going to charge into his little Gribbly there. So 3 shots, looking for 6s in Overwatch. Getting 1. That is not a wound though, so his charge distance is in. All right, so moving into the Psychic phase, my Primaris Psyker is going to cast Psybolt into the dude bro there. So looking for a 5 on this roll, +1, -1. That goes off with a 6, so he takes a mortal wound. And then I'm going to cast Might of Heroes onto myself. Oh no, Perils of the Warp. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that because otherwise I'm going to be hurting. Into a 5, which is not enough for Might of Heroes, but at least I'm not dead. All right, so now this Gribbly here is going to start us off in the shooting phase by shooting into my guy over here. So this is going to be 3 shots, obscured, so hitting on 5s. Getting no hits. So now my dude bro down here is going to fire into his Gribbly up there. Obscured, so 2 shots hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 2, that's a wound. AP nothing, so he's got his 6-up save. No, takes it. Is he out of action? No, he is not. All right, so now my guy here is going to fire his heavy bolter into the Tyranid down over into his Gene Stealer over here. 3 shots hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 3 hits, strength 5, so 3s to wound. That is going to be 3 wounds, AP -1, so 3 5-up saves. Makes 2 of them, but fails 1. So is he going to be out of action? The 3 he is not. All right, so now my sniper specialist is going to fire into him down here. So it's going to be 2 shots, heavy 2, so he's at -1 to hit, but he is not obscured. So this is going to be hitting on 4s. Rerolling 1s because he's a sniper specialist. Not again, though. So that's 1 hit. Wounding on a 2 for Hellfire Rounds. That is a wound. AP -1, doesn't care. 5 up, invul save. No, goes through. +1 to this because of flesh wound. Whoa, get it on the table. Whoa, 6, he is out. All right, so starting us off in the fight phase, his Tyranid Prime is going to attack into my Primaris Psyker. So he rolled, got a little excited, rolled it already. So it's hitting on 2, so that's 5 hits of 2 pluses there. So these are going to be now strength 5, so wounding on 3s. Getting 4 wounds there. These are 4 AP -2s, so looking for 4 5-up saves. Making 1, so 3 go through, so he takes 3 damage. And then my dude bro over here is going to attack back. He's is going to attack because of his charge. He's got 3 base, 1 for the close combat weapon, 1 for being a combat specialist. Alrighty, that's going to be 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. Getting 1, 2 wounds. AP nothing, so 2 6-ups. Fails them both, so is he out? You nope. You nope. And now he's going to attack back. He's got -1 to hit because of the flesh wound. That is not a hit. All right, so now my Primaris Librarian is going to attack into his Tyranid Prime. I've got 4 attacks here, hitting on 3s. Yeah, getting 2 hits. These are going to be strength 4, toughness 5. So looking for 5s to wound. Getting no wounds. All right, so that's the end of turn 4 here. So my opponent now will roll to see, whatchamacallit. He's going to roll to see if he breaks here. So he's going to have, what's your leadership? Your leadership 10, right? So here we go. Rolling for leadership 10. No, I don't think they take away from this. It's just a leadership 10 test. And he's not broken, so he's good to go here. But he does have to take some nerve tests. So the guy up over here, it's going to be looking for a 1, basically.
No.
Nope. The guy over here, looking for a 1.
No.
No. Guy down here, looking for a 1.
No.
No. And that is all of the guys there. So all of his guys are nervous, except for his commander, who is over there. So that is going to be, and I don't have to take any tests. So that's the end of turn 4. So we have to roll now. We should roll off to see if we go on to a turn 5. We do, so we'll come back to you. Oh no, now we have to roll to see who has the initiative going into turn 5. I rolled an 11, so I will be going first. Moving phase for the Deathwatch. My Reaver Sergeant is going to stay in combat. My other guy up here readied himself. He readied himself. He readied himself. And my Primaris Librarian stayed in combat. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Deathwatch. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids. Movement phase for the Tyranid. He's going to stay in combat. Everyone else is nervous. So we will come back to you with the Psychic phase. All right, we're going to cast Psybolt into him over there. Getting it with a 7, so he takes another mortal wound. And now I'm going to Might of Heroes myself. Getting it with the 7. All right, so now we're going to do shooting. He's going to fire into him. Heavy Bolter and Heavy Flamer. Heavy Bolter gets 1 hit. That is a wound. AP -1 goes straight through, right? So see, +1 to this. He's out of action. He's going to fire into the Gribbly on the 2nd floor over there. That is 2 hits. 1 hit, sorry. Obscured over there. 2 to wound. No wound. And he's going to fire his pistol. That's a hit. That is not a wound. And then my Primaris Librarian is going to fire his bolt pistol. That is not a hit. All right, so now into the fight phase. My opponent spent a command point on Duel of Honor, which will allow him to reroll hits and wounds against my commander in the fight phases. He can only attack the commander, but I mean, that's all he's attacking there. But I get to have the initiative here, so I will be attacking first. So I've got 5 attacks, hitting on 5 attacks because of Might of Heroes, hitting on 3s. It's cocked. Alrighty, so getting 4 hits. These are going to be strength 5 now because of Might of Heroes. These are going to be wounding on 4s. Oh, I'm going to spend my last command point on one of those to hopefully get a wound in there. No. Why? And now his Tyranid Prime is going to be attacking back over here. So he's got 5 attacks here. These are going to be hitting on 2s. Re-rolling because of the tactic that he spent there. Re-rolling because of the tactic. That's 5 hits. These are now going to be wounding on 4s because he's tough 5 with Might of Heroes here. So re-rolling, not just ones, is it? Just ones? Re-roll ones No, but you can reroll failed hits and wound rolls for commander's attack until the end of the phase. So reroll everything. So wounding on 4s, rerolling everything. Rerolling everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rerolls. Yep, that one's good. Oh, so 3 wounds get through here. 3 AP -2s, so 3 5-up saves. Come on, you could do it. Yo, I failed 1. Whoa. It's only 1 damage, right? So I'm good. I'm still alive. Still alive. All right, so that's the end of turn 5 here. My opponent now has to roll to see if he is broken. So it's 2d6. Look, leadership 10. Ooh, close, but he's good. This guy down on the bottom there, looking for a 1. Nope. Guy up on the 2nd floor. Nope. So they're both scared. But that's the end of the turn now. So now roll to see if we go on to a turn 6 on a 4-up. We do. Now we have to roll for initiative. All right, so 7 to 10, you get to go first. All right, his movement, he's going to stay in combat. All right, movement phase. These 2 guys moved on to the objective over here. He moved to the edge so we can see this guy. He moved on to the objective, still seeing this guy. He stayed in combat, and then he also stayed in combat. So that's it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, so psychic phase, gonna be Cybolting into him over there. +1, -1. Getting a 5 is enough, so Cybolt, he takes another wound. He's down to 2. All right, I'm going to use the psychic, what is it? It's mental focus, which is allows me to recast Cybolt against him again in this phase. That's the end of my command points for this turn, because I've only been getting 1 each turn because of the fact that my leader's dead. So here comes looking for Cybolt again. Getting a 5, that's enough, but it only does 1 more damage to him. All right, shooting phase. I've got nobody that's ready, so we're just going to go straight into the shooting. All of his guys can't shoot. So this guy's going to shoot into him with his pistol. That's a hit. That is a wound. AP -1. So it goes through. +1 to this. He's out. Now my dude bro here is going to shoot into him. Wounding on 2s, but hitting on not 1 or 3. Heavy bolter firing down into him over here. Hitting on 5s. Nothing. And 1 last shot to try to get him here. Bolt pistol into his face over here. Hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding. Oh boy. On a 5. Come on. Do it. 5. No, not enough. All right, so my opponent's going to spend Duel of Honor again and take the initiative over here. So here we go. 5 attacks hitting on 2s.
Yes.
All hits. Wounding on 3s now because I didn't have Might of Heroes on him. Rerolling. Oh man, what a well-spent command point. That's 1 hit. That's 1 hit. Oh man, so we've got 5 AP -2s. 5 5-ups. Got no rerolls. Oh, I've got 1 reroll. No, I spent the command point to do Cybolt a 2nd time. No rerolls. Here we go. 5-up serves. Making not enough. So I wouldn't have had, even if I reroll this one, still not enough. Even with 3 fill faces, still not enough. So he is, all his wounds are down. Let's see if he's out of action.
I only get 1.
Only get 1. But you can reroll. Do you have a command point to reroll it?
I shall.
You're going to spend a command point to reroll it. Oh boy. Here we go. Looking for 4-up, otherwise he's still going to get you. Oh, he takes a flesh wound. Still alive. All right, let's see if he can strike back now. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. Getting 2 hits, wounding on 5s. Can't get any wounds. Why? That's not right. Ah! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the game on turn 6 with a Deathwatch victory. Jumped on this objective here. Jumped on this objective here. That is a Deathwatch victory because I think we contested over there. But this does mean that we're going to roll now for initiative to see if we can go into the next turn to see what would happen if this fight. So let's see who will get the initiative on this fight. 5 and a 5, re-rolling. 6, so I would have the initiative, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to kill him. So here we go, 4 attacks on 3s. Getting 2 hits. Can I finally roll a 5-up to wound or not? Yeah, 2. AP -3. That's going to go to 6 up saves. 2 6-up saves. Otherwise, he's got a 1 reroll. No, neither which one is going to kill him. So he would have slayed him finally on that last one there. But man, this fight here was nuts and a ton of fun. I had a blast. This was so much fun. Deathwatch are good. I'm not going to lie. I really like them. They're fun to play. They got some good shoosty, which is fun. And some good punchy. Like when the heavy thunderhammer just like smacked through his leader's head was pretty hilarious. I thought, I'm not going to lie. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek. As always, my opponent's been Neil. And until next time, have fun.